Hey you guys, today we're going to talk about order of operations, and before we finish up we will be evaluating some problems. So first and foremost, I want to talk about how, we've seen expressions and we've seen equations, but we have not seen them actually use exponents, and that can happen. So first, let's actually define what an exponent is and what it looks like. And so let's start here. An exponent tells us how many times you multiply the base to itself. So my first example is 3 to the second power. And power can also be used as terminology for an exponent. So power. So 3 to the second power or 3 squared. All of that would work. The 2 is in the place of an exponent. So a little number raised is an exponent. The base of it is actually the 3. So again, let's look here. An exponent tells us how many times you multiply the base. So our base is 3. How many times are we going to take 3 and multiply itself to itself? Twice. So this looks like 3 times 3. I used the number 3 2 times. And why did I use 2? Because my exponent was 2. So what is 3 times 3? You guys would say 9. I know you would. And that is the answer to 3 squared. 3 squared is actually 9. And it looks like this. Okay, now, so there can be expressions with exponents. Now, when we've got a lot of stuff in there, that brings us to order of operations. And there is a certain order that we are going to follow. Let's discuss that right now. Here we go. Here are the order of operation steps. Pause the video if you need to. Number 1 is parentheses. You're going to do this first, or I should say grouping symbols, because sometimes there can be brackets as well, not just parentheses. So 1 is parentheses or grouping symbols. Second is always exponents. Third is multiplication or division. Notice this. It's not multiplication always first and then division. It's either or. And it's as it comes in the problem from left to right, just as if, or just how you would read something. The last is the operations of addition and subtraction. But notice this as well, you guys. It's the same. It comes in order from left to right. So you're not just going to do addition first. And we'll get into some problems there. So furthermore, order of operations, some people call PEMDAS, and this is the explanation. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. You may have heard this. You may have another acronym that you have to keep up with the order of operations. If so, definitely bring it to class and tell us. But we have P parentheses. Again, this is grouping symbols as well. E for exponents, multiplication and division, and then addition and subtraction. And both of these are in order as it comes from left to right. So let's take this first example down here. We've got 3 squared plus 8 divided by 4 times 12 minus 10. Now we got a lot of operations. You can't just do whichever one you want. You have to follow this order. So what I do every time to stay organized is I will write PEMDAS out to the side and kind of just go through it. So ask myself, is there any parentheses or grouping symbols in the problem? No. Is there any exponents in the problem? Yes, there is exponents. We've got 3 to the second power. Now, lucky for us, we just did an example like this. And 3 squared is 9. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write every little thing else out that I did not work with just to stay organized. So I've done the exponents. Check. Now, is there any multiplication or division? They come in order as left to right. So let's see. Yeah, I see multiplication, and I also see division. So as stated up here, we do what comes first from left to right. In this case, we're going to have to work this division first. 8 divided by 4, which is 2. All right, so the 9 stays the same. The plus sign is still there. Times 12 minus 10. So notice the only thing I did was the division, which was here. Now let's worry with the multiplication. And the multiplication is 2 times 12, which is 24. So I'm going to keep the 9 here, and I'm going to keep the minus 10 on the outside. So I've done multiplication and division. Now I'm going to look at the addition and subtraction. And that's what I have left. And I'm going to do those operations as they come from left to right. So lucky for us, the addition comes first. And 9 plus 24 is 33 minus 10. So I did the addition, and now I'm going to do the subtraction. 33 minus 10 is 23. This is our answer. It kind of goes down like an upside down Christmas tree, or depends of if you go bowling. Your answer will be at the bottom right there. Okay, so let's go to another problem. Let's work something else. Let's work this one here. 3, open parentheses, 2 to the third power, minus 1 plus 4. So we're going to work order of operations. So I'm going to put, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, out to the side so I can stay organized with it. All right. P, do I have any parentheses or grouping symbols? Yes, I do. And what's going to happen here? You are going to work everything that is in those parentheses first. Everything inside these parentheses. And guess what? You start back over again asking the questions. Inside of those parentheses, are there any parentheses in there? No, there's not. Are there any exponents inside of those parentheses? And yes, there are. 2 to the third power. So we got to take 2 and multiply it to itself 3 times. So it looks like this. 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. So 8 goes in that spot right there. Nothing else? Let's keep going. Is there any multiplication or division inside of the parentheses? Again, we're just working on the parenthesis portion. Any multiplication or division? Nope. Addition or subtraction? Yeah, we got both of those. And we work them in order as they come from left to right. So guess which part I'm going to do. Am I going to do the 1 plus 4, or am I going to do the 8 minus 1? I hope you said 8 minus 1, because you would be right. 8 minus 1 is 7. So I'm not going to do anything with the 4, nor am I going to do anything with the 3 yet. Still working in there to get the parentheses down to one number. So what would you guys say 7 plus 4 is? That's our only operation left. 11 is right, and there's a 3 on the outside. Now we need to talk about this. Anything that's slapped up against each other is referring to multiplication. So this actually means multiplication. 3 times 11, and we would get 33 as our final answer. Okay, let's go again. Let's step it up a notch. We're gradually increasing the difficulty. How about this? 4, open brackets, open parentheses, 2 times 9, close parentheses, plus, open parentheses, 15 divided by 3, close parentheses, squared, close brackets. Holy cow. Let's stay organized on this one for sure. All right, let's roll with it. Are there any parentheses? Well, yeah, we've got parentheses and brackets. Now notice, they could have put parentheses here, but they've chosen to use brackets to kind of keep things separated. So this is our outermost parenthesis, which is a bracket. Now we have to look inside there and ask ourselves, are there any parentheses inside of those that we have already established? And yes, there is. There's two different ones actually. And this one over here, we've got one operation, which is multiplication. 2 times 9. So we've got to get that down to one number, and 2 times 9 is 18. All right, in this parenthesis, there's one operation. 15 divided by 3 is 5. So this is what we've got so far. Now, also, inside of these brackets, the outermost, we do have exponents in there. So we worked with the parentheses to get them down to one number. Now we go to exponents, and there are exponents. We've got 5 squared. So this is actually saying 5 times 5, which is 25. Let's keep going inside these brackets. We're trying to get them down to one particular number. And so do we have any more multiplication or division in there? No. Addition and subtraction? Well, we do have addition. So let's go here. 18 plus 25. It's going to bring me to 43, and that 4 is still on the outside. Now this looks a little different. We have a number 4 and right up against some brackets. Now remember, brackets and parentheses are the same, really. They're grouping symbols. So the operation here is multiplication. And 4 times 43 is a big number of 172. So look for your outermost parentheses or grouping symbols, which could be brackets, and then go ask yourself the order of operations questions inside those grouping symbols as well. Okay, let's evaluate before we're finished today. And let's look at this example. W, open parentheses, H minus S. What can we do with this? Not much of anything, right? But what if I put this there? What about if W equals 5, and H stands for the number 10, and S stands for the number 2? So now I've actually defined what these letters, or these variables, what they actually mean, and what number they actually represent. Now it's a little bit easier to actually simplify this. So what I'm going to do when I'm evaluating, I'm going to take what each of these are, and I'm going to plug it in. The Glades commercial. Plug it in, plug it in. That's right. Yep, you're going to be singing it. So we are going to take each value and plug it in. So this 5 goes in the place of the W. The H, there's a 10 that should go in that spot. And for the S, there is the number 2. So I've taken the W and the H and the S, and I have substituted it into the original problem. And we are going to evaluate to come out with one specific answer. So let's go. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. We're going to use order of operations here as well. Do we have any parentheses? Yeah, we do. What's in there? One operation. All we've got is subtraction. And what is 10 minus 2? It is 8. Any exponents? No. Any multiplication? Well, yeah, that's where we're going to stop. Notice again, I have the number 5 slapped right up against these parentheses that has the number 8 inside. So this is multiplication. And so 5 times 8 gives us 40. You just thought that represented Walker High School. It actually represents 40. So that's that. All right, see you guys in class. We'll work hard.